And I'm about positive we're gonna get a coyote in this video.
Stinking go, baby. Let's stinking go. What is good, Gray Gang? In this video, today we're going to be doing some predator trapping. Right here, right now, this is what we got. We got 12 brand new coyote and fox traps, and then over here we got a dozen brand new stakes that hold the traps into the ground. Now, believe it or not, them being brand new is not a good thing. With them being brand new, that means that they have a coating of like grease on them, and that's actually a bad thing because with coyote and foxes having really good noses, they can smell that grease, and they know that it's not natural. So what we're gonna do right here, right now, we're gonna try to get the grease off. This is supposed to, like, you know, get all the grease off, and that's the main thing. So I'm just gonna come in here, I'm gonna put this whole bottle on it. It should do, I mean, it makes sense because, you know, it gets oil, it gets grease off stuff, and there's a lot of grease and a lot of oil on here, so. Yeah, we'll just give them that too. All right, boys, moment of truth. Is it gonna get all soapy and stuff? Oh yeah, I think this will work good. I mean, it's a whole lot easier than boiling each and every trap. The next clip in this video, we're gonna be trapping. Let's stinking go. So now what our job is going to be is to get the trap itself. Then I'm going to get a chain stake. If you don't know how these work, basically they're this little shape and you drop them down into the ground like this. Then whenever you pull up on them, they turn sideways and they're a lot harder to pull back up. So yeah, that's basically what I'm going to do right here. Is hook a few of these up, get them ready, and we're actually going to go out and set them today. So enjoy this little time lapse. There we go, guys. We got 4 right there. That's not a ton. We do have 12 in here, or at least not 8 now. But I do have a few over there that I've not actually set yet. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go set those. The plan for today is pretty solid, I think. We're gonna be setting a bunch of traps, but I'm gonna show you a couple different types of sets and a reset. And don't worry, guys, we're going to a pretty good spot. And I'm about positive we're gonna get a coyote in this video. Believe it or not. Oh! Let's go on down to the spot. We gotta go a little bit of ways from here. Okay, guys, I lied about that last part. We're actually not going very far for the first set, but then the second couple sets we are gonna go a little ways off and, you know, figure that out. But yeah, right over here, this is the one where we actually caught the red fox in this year. The first red fox. Right here it is, guys. I don't know if you can see that, but I've literally had a coyote dig up the dirt hole set and well, the dirt hole itself. But yeah, the dirt hole used to go straight in there. The coyote came, just dug it all up. I don't know why I didn't reset the trap, but I just didn't. So he came in here and there was no like chance of him even getting trapped. So yeah, guys, there's been a coyote all over this and the trap's just been sitting right here. You may be wondering,
Kendall, dude, how do you know there's a coyote here? Like, how do you know it's not like just a wild dog or something?
Well, because I had the trail camera on it and it literally got video of him sitting here digging it up. I deleted the footage, so it sounds kind of sketchy, but you gotta trust me on this one. But yeah, we're gonna reset this one the way it's supposed to be, and we might actually scoot the dirt hole over to this way or that way or something, change it up a little bit. We're gonna go ahead. We don't need a new trap because it already has it. Basically, all we need is my trapping bucket, and that should be good enough. The plan, I think I'm gonna reset the trap right here, right where it used to be, but instead of making the dirt hole here, I'm gonna make it here. And I'll show you how I'm gonna do that right here in a second. But step one's first step, gotta rebed this trap. There we go, we're just gonna bed that in there. Yeah, we can kind of just fill in that other dirt hole. We don't need it at all anymore. I'm gonna call that good. It's kind of wet right now, but let's be honest, guys, as it dries up, it's gonna harden. Now I'll come in with my dirt hole. I'm gonna put the hole right there at a pretty good spot for it. That's a pretty good hole right there. Next, I'll recover my trap with some of this good dirt. Voila! I'm basically done, guys. The key to this is not so much fencing him to where he can only step in one spot. The key is to put good bait in there to where he stays here long enough to where eventually he steps right there. Oh, that's cool. I was pulling off this stick to, you know, get bait. And there's coyote hairs where a coyote is apparently rubbed up against this. Probably peed on this exact stick, but I don't care. Get some of this coyote bait. Oh yeah, real nice, real yummy. I'm about to eat some myself, to be honest. Then I went and got a wad of grass. That's just going to kind of give a visual attractant. And then last but not least, we're going to put a little bit of lure on here. I don't know what this does, but they say to do it, so I do it. Doo-doo, doo-doo. Boom. We should be good to go. Now we just leave and come back whenever there's a coyote doing donuts right here. Now we're going to drive a little ways away and set these other traps. Let's go. Alrighty, guys, we are on our way to the trapping location. My cousin was up here hunting during rifle season, and he said he saw the biggest bobcat he had ever seen. It was at least 160 pounds. It was crazy. So yeah, guys, that's basically what we're doing. We're up here on the top of a mountain. You can kind of look over there and kind of see the elevation. We're pretty high up, so I'm sure there's some cats, foxes, coyotes, black bears, probably even a black panther if we look close enough, but that's not gonna be easy, but I think we can get it. Let's go. Alrighty guys, I'm up on top of the mountain. I'm gonna try to be a little bit quiet because I don't know if I'm supposed to be here or not, but we're here, so it's just a big, who cares? We here now. I do have a secret weapon. It is a fox pea, straight out of the bladder side, just straight up. Now, I'm not going to be too specific on this dirt hole set, but on my second channel, Kendall Grade 2, I'm actually going to post an entire video, step-by-step, uncut, of how to set a dirt hole set. So after this video's over, go ahead and check it out on my second channel. But as for now, let's just go ahead and let me show you on here. That's heavy. I'm going to put my dirt hole right there. I'm just planting a little bit, getting this ready. Now, these are MB450s. I don't know, they're like the best trap they make, but they are expensive, so... Obviously, it's different strokes for different folks, and you do whatever works for you, but this is what works for me, so that's how it's going to be. Oh, gosh, what in the world? That right there is pretty solid. Yeah, that's plenty. A lot of times you do want to make your pan the lowest point, but if you don't, I don't think that's the worst thing ever, because the biggest thing with trapping isn't to make them step there and only there, but it's to make them stay here long enough to where they do step on it eventually. And this is the problem with trapping in a mountain. There's a root right there, so my dirt hole has to go under the root. Roots just make everything harder. I'm just going to take me a little bit of bait. I'm going to go ahead and dunk it in the hole. Just a decent little amount, enough for them to want it. Put the lure somewhere up higher so that the wind can catch it and take it down. I'm just going to try my best to somehow get some of this up here. You don't have to use a lot of this. It usually goes a long way. And now for the fox pea, I've seen people get it in a spray bottle and spray it all over. I mean, I don't think it matters that much. Just do it like a fox would. You just come over and that's probably enough. And boom, that set's literally done. We're ready to leave and come back tomorrow, and there should be a fire sitting there doing donuts. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. We done, boys. Oh, good morning, America. We just got done setting the dirt hole set. I think I'm going to move on to a more majestic set, a less popular set, a more uncommon set, a mythical set. It's a peepo set, okay? So imagine this. Just think about it. Close your eyes for a minute. A coyote, storm rolling down here, just got shot at from like 6 different people, and a badger. Comes right through here. He's like, oh snap, there's a stick. I got to pee on it. So he pees on it. Got him in a trap. I mean, what do you think, guys? I think it's going to do pretty good. The reason I picked this spot is because we're on an ultimate peak, meaning that it has 3 different roads. You got 1, 2, and 3. And so I'm thinking this is a pretty good spot for, you know, just random things coming through. If the predators are wanting to run the ridges, he's going to have to come here. And there's 3 different ways they could come from. So I'm thinking we come right over here somewhere just pretty basic. The thing about a pea post set is they got to have a pea post. That could be a tree, but since all trees have roots, I'm just going to make my own. That way I don't have to hit a root on the way down. But yeah, this is a really fun set. I really like this one because, I don't know, it makes me feel like I've done something right. It makes me feel like I've hacked their territorial sense, because I have. But you get the point. Anyways, let's go do it. The tools you need are exactly the same. I'm using the same exact trap. This is an MB450. But first things first, with the P-post set, find some flat ground, clear it out, and now your next objective, very simple, set the trap. And now this set's going to be very different from the dirt hole set you've seen me set earlier. Whenever you set this trap, it needs to look like nothing was ever there. The first step is actually installing your P-post. Now, you can use a tree, but I don't like setting up against trees because trees usually have roots, and roots are really hard to set traps in. So I've got my own stick. I'm just going to stick it in the ground, get my hammer. It's just a stick, so it's not like it's going to jump up and run away. It don't need to be there in there too close. Just imagine, a coyote pees on this stick. Where's he going to put his foot? I think he's going to put his foot right there. And so that's where I'm going to set the trap. Just go ahead and dig it out like normal. Remember, you're going to want this set to look exactly like it was before you got here. And that can be pretty challenging. And one of the most important parts is to save your exact same colored dirt. I have some special dirt in here that's super soft, but it's brown. Oof! Now I'm going to go ahead and stake my trap stake. There we go. Now we'll come in here, we'll set this trap, try to get it ground level. Looking good, looking good. Now basically, we want to make this look like there's not even a trap there. If you hadn't seen me set that trap, you probably wouldn't even know there's a trap there. And now obviously this looks a little bit different than that, but give this overnight, let the top dry out a little bit, it's gonna look the same. And if you're trapping in a place to where there's leaves on the ground, sprinkle some leaves over that. But in this particular location, it was bare ground anyhow, so that's how we're gonna leave it. Now, one of the most important parts, take your red fox pea, preferably. You can use coyote, but if you use coyote, you're not gonna catch fox. If you use fox pea, you're gonna catch both fox and coyotes. Put you some
on the stick.
Yeah, but that's pretty much it. You just leave and then come back whenever there's something on it. Come back every 24 hours, depending on what your state's laws are.
Alrighty guys, now that I've showed you both those two sets, there's really not a lot more like I can actually show you. Basically, I'll just catch y'all back whenever I catch something. Might be tomorrow, might be the day after, might be a week, I don't know. I'll catch you whenever I get something though.
Let's stinking go, baby. Let's stinking go. It took a little bit longer than I wanted.
Well, it took about 5 days to get this guy. It's a little bit longer than I really expected. I thought I was gonna catch him around 3 because it's supposed to be all over this area.
But yeah, right here, really nice coyote, which that's exactly what we was after.
I had decided if I caught a red fox up here, it's probably just gonna let it go because red fox are having a hard enough time. And I'm not exactly wanting them to skin. The main reason I want this guy is to like, well, slow down on him killing everything else. It's not going to be too long before the coyotes actually start breeding. And if I can take out one coyote now, that'll stop like 6 from being bred and possibly a ton of fawns in the future.
If you look at his tail, it's bare. I don't exactly know why, but what I do know is on the back of his neck, some of his fur is also gone.
What that is whenever they're going into their dens, wherever their den is, whether it's in a log or in a cave, scratches some of the fur off. So I'm gonna go ahead and take care of this guy. As for the dispatch weapon, guys, usually you want to use a 22, but in this case I'm using a 17. Very similar. This one's got a little bit more power, but it's really not gonna make that much of a difference. They're very similar weapons, especially for just dispatching them. The place I like to dispatch them, right in the lungs, it kills them perfectly fine. If you go for the head, it kills them super fast, but at the same time, super messy. He's giving me a perfect shot. If you want to know what happens after the shot, go ahead and become a member today. Click the join button below and check out the extra behind the scenes video. Alright, bye.